Raw crew, welcome back to the It's Not Fake Fancast. We're a Fancast, we're not a podcast. Podcast is reserved for journalists and reporters. We're not journalists, we're not reporters, we're not insiders, we're not producers, we're not bookers, we're not agents, we're not wrestlers. We don't know any wrestlers, and we don't own shit. But what we have done is spent our time, energy, and effort for decades in the one thing that we love, which is professional wrestling. And now we're spending our time with you, the fans, because we are fans. Let me introduce you to the crew. Malcolm B. Jones, man named so cool he don't need a nickname. What's up?
Yo, what's going on? How you doing?
Good, brother. We need y'all to like, share, subscribe, and comment on this channel and this page. Thank you very much. Our other tag team partner, Reg, a.k.a. Antonio Marks, the Marks man, a grown man, John Cena fan with a 3-second tan, cannot be here tonight. He will be joining us next show. And I am your host, Ahmad, the Dark Show. And if you don't like my nickname, I'm going to have Scott Steiner teach your kid math. Malcolm B. Jones, what's the headline of the week?
Headline of the week, I would say, is from NXT, and that is the debut of the Diamond Mine. And for people who don't know who Diamond Mine was, it's a group now of Roderick Strong, Hideki Suzuki, Malcolm Bivens, and Tyler Rust. And it's actually a homage to an old, stable called the Diamond Mine. So it's very interesting. And they, this week on NXT, beat up everybody at the end, debuted, and a lot of people were thinking it was going to be Tessa Blanchard, and they surprised people that it was something completely different. So I really enjoyed it.
Yo, so explain to people the history of this Diamond Mine or this Diamond Coalition, because this is like the third iteration.
It is. So there was something called a Diamond Exchange, with Bad Company. It was Kurt Hennig, Medusa. Then they had now they had the Diamond
Hold on.
Mine.
Was that an AWA?
That was AWA. You're right. These were all AWA.
So that's before Kurt Hennig was Mr. Perfect, even.
Before he was Mr. Perfect, he was Kurt Hennig, like this, the son of Larry the Axe. That's how they knew him. Then they did another one after that, with Vinny Vegas and the Diamond Stud, who we know both those guys are, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall. DDP was a manager, and they had a bunch of other guys. Now this is a new thing that's something completely different, and I like that they're giving Roderick Strong the reins to have his own kind of stable. Like, he kind of deserves it in a way. He did a lot of hard work in the Undisputed Era. He really, that heel turn, that whole way it was set up was perfect. So I feel like him having a new haircut and looking like Beast, and we've seen him wrestle and have good matches, it's his turn to shine and have his own stable. I think that's a great thing to have.
Now, who are these other guys?
All right.
So I haven't really seen these guys too much.
Well, Malcolm Bivens, I know, is the manager backstage at NXT, who has a bald head and usually trying to get people to join up with him, but people usually don't. So it's very interesting that he's part of this. And Tyler Rust has been on, he's more of a guy on, 205 Live. He's more on that. But he's been on NXT, and he's actually Malcolm Bivens' like main dude. And then Hideki Suzuki, he is like an amazing wrestler from Japan who is on 0-1, I think. I think that's what the promotion was called. I might be wrong. And I looked him up. He is a really, really good wrestler. When these guys finally do wrestle, whatever kind of match it's going to be, they're all going to look really good. And Roderick Strong, I think it's more so this stable's kind of highlighting Roderick Strong. That's the guy now.
So they're a heel stable, is what you're saying?
Absolutely.
So who'd they trash?
Everyone at the end, basically. I think they beat up like tag teams, I think, at the end. I can't remember really, because I watched it half awake, half sleeping, but I saw that debut and I was like, that's what woke me up. I was like, oh crap, Roderick Strong has a new haircut. Whoa, look at this. Like, it's a buzz cut. It's down to that. So it looks completely different. He looked all, he looked tough. He looked like he was ready to take on people. And then, it's always cool when you see new people in the stable that you don't know, so you get to go look them up. That's how I looked up Suzuki, and I knew Tyler Rust. So seeing kind of all these guys come together who weren't big names is kind of interesting. It's like the new generation of NXT, something new to trying, and I like that.
All right, so what else happened on NXT this week?
What else happened is Adam Cole wrestled and had a great promo, and it's really interesting. I thought Adam Cole was good, like after his last interview, it looks like he was going to move up and go maybe to Raw or SmackDown, but it looks like he's going to stay in NXT and be kind of like that legendary guy, come out and have a great promo and wrestle some of these young cats that are new to the game and be, that kind of wrestler for right now. I
And
think that's what's going on.
basically, it sounds like they don't know what the fuck they want to do with him because they threatened basically to call him up with that promo they did months ago. So you're thinking he's going to get called up, and then he's in the main event for the title in a Fatal 5-Way. He's a part of the finish. Now he's still there. He's not going after the title. What is he doing? Like, why is he even there? I don't understand why he's there. I mean, unless he just wants to be there and doesn't want to get called up, they're wasting his prime years right now. He should be on the main roster. We're talking about fresh faces and trying to get people to go against Roman Reigns and different contenders fighting different people. Well, you got Adam Cole just sitting there. And I mean, yeah, they're highlighting him, but they're not really doing anything with him. I don't know about that.
I think they're using him as a talent to like get over these other guys that haven't got over, younger people that are new to the game. That's what I think they're doing. And I think they're waiting on Adam Cole until like the draft. I think the draft is going to be a big thing where a lot of guys come up on NXT. I think the summertime they kind of want to wait till fans get back, and then in the fall when they're they'll be back everywhere, not just a few states as they're doing.
Does the
They'll
draft
have more things. They're going to be There's going to be a draft.
does the
They've been
draft
talking
usually
about
include NXT?
it has before. There has been guys that got moved up, and been drafted from NXT, or they could say, hey, they could do that. They could be like surprise. NXT is also available to be drafted in this draft. So that could be something they do also.
So that's
You
kind of
never
weird.
know.
I mean, so if NXT is included in the draft, then that means they would be drafting people off of Raw and SmackDown, basically bringing them down to the minor league roster. I don't know about that one. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Well,
Maybe they'll just make him available, but I haven't even heard anything about a draft, not officially. I mean, is there
I've
even
seen things about
rumors?
it online. I've seen things about it online, like rumors about it. Rumors there's going to be a draft soon. That they want to change things up when especially when fans start getting back. They don't want to have it the same for fans has it been the Thunderdome. They kind of want to change it up because they know the fans are going to, fans might boo some of this stuff. They might go crazy and go, you know how fans are at different arenas. Could not be good, So they might change things up soon. And
Well,
they've done that before.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna be booing Alexa Bliss. I mean, at least initially, I think. Anyway, so okay, we had Adam Cole shining. Is there anything with Karrion Cross? What are we looking toward with the
This week,
title?
nothing with Karrion Cross.
He didn't even
Not,
appear.
nah, nothing with him. The rumors online about him that they're saying is he's going to be moved up soon, and they might break them both up. Which I'm just like, that's silly. Why would
So
you break
wait,
like him
so
and
they
break
introduced
him and
Samoa
Scarlett up?
Joe, but they bring back Samoa Joe last week, and he gets in
Yes.
Karrion Cross's face, and this week nothing.
Last week, actually, Samoa Joe, he got in Karrion Cross's face during the promo, but
That was
actually
last week.
backstage, because the rule is now about Samoa Joe, he's a special enforcer that he can only attack people if provoked. So backstage, Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole were having a little fight, and Samoa Joe got back there and tried to break it up, and Adam Cole put his hands on Samoa Joe, and Samoa Joe choked him out. So that's what Joe's going to basically be doing. He's probably going to be choking people out when they act up. The
So
Karrion Cross, I think the Karrion Cross thing was just like, man, we wish this could happen. Maybe one day he'll wrestle, but I don't see it happening for a little bit.
So there was no Samoa Joe or Karrion Cross
No,
this week.
no,
Yeah,
not really. No.
see, that's where WWE be fucking up.
Well, they have so many guys on the roster. The other thing they did was
but
Bronson.
they threatened it last week, and then there's no follow up. At least give us a follow up, an interview, something. I mean,
Well,
of all the bullshit they put on TV, they had time for a 3-minute interview.
this week was highlighting the Champa and Thatcher versus young grizzled veterans like last match. So Champa and Thatcher are going to move on to fight MSK for the belts at the Great American Bash. So they have every week on NXT they have different guys they're trying to put out there to show what's going on.
Well, what's going on with Bronson Reed in that North American title?
Bronson Reed in the North American title, it looks like he's going to be probably definitely feuding with Swerve Scott at Hit Row. And in my opinion, like that's a pretty poppin' stable right now.
Because
Hit Row
I don't recognize any of them guys. I know that one guy is a host on A&E's The Hidden Treasures with WWE.
Yes. So that's how it kind of started. There was a match with Swerve Scott and somebody. I can't remember who it was for the life of me. I don't know why. But that guy from A&E attacked the guy fighting Swerve Scott when the referee wasn't looking. And then at the end of it, a bunch of other people got involved. What's this? I was like, oh, it's a new stable. And then they start coming out now every week. And it's Swerve Scott, Adonis the God, which we know if you know Adonis from AEW, not from AEW, from NXT, he has been Swerve Scott's like tag team partner for a long time. The guy, I can't remember the guy's name, but he has definitely been on A&E's Hidden Treasures. And then this wonderful woman who usually is like, she's a little bit more of a mouthpiece. She does a lot more talking, which I really like her a lot. They're a very interesting stable, and I could see like that North American title gets passed around for people, and right now that stable is being pushed. So I could see Swerve Scott winning the belt against Bronson Reed at some point.
That chick is a groupie. She's been around more rappers than Kanye West. Okay. And not in a good way. She's like Soldier Boy, and I think it was like Too Short. I was reading all these rappers that she's been around, so we already know what time it is with her. I mean, I'm not, I don't want to be disrespectful, but she probably used her talent in other ways to get to where she at.
Hey, you got to pay for wrestling school some way.
Yeah, just like Lita did, right? That's how she paid for it. No, but so this stable looks stupid to me. I think it just like mashed together. I know you said it looks like it's popping. Not to me. I mean, Swerve Scott is a jobber for real, for real. And these other people are unknown except for the video vixen slash road hip hop groupie bitch. So I don't know, man. That shit looks whack, and it's probably not gonna last long, bro. You know what I mean? Maybe a star will come out of it, or they can do something with or two of the people, but I doubt it. I mean, the guy Adonis, he seems like a pretty good wrestler. I know he's a former athlete, former college athlete. I think the other guy was in the NFL too. So we'll see what they can do when they actually get matches. But I'm not expecting too much out of them because I don't expect too much out of Swerve Scott. So what's next?
What's next? I think we should just move on to AEW. And let's talk about the main event, the match that's really going to matter this week. And it's going to be Kenny Omega versus Jungle Boy for the AEW World Heavyweight title.
So this one, I think, is going to be interesting. Now, I don't expect Jungle Boy to win at all, but I expect them to showcase Jungle Boy in some type of way in this match. I mean, at the very least, he's going to look really good because Kenny Omega is good for that. He can make other guys look good. I mean, that's kind of what he does. That's kind of what makes him great also. But Jungle Boy is coming into his own. I believe he's, 25 now almost? So eventually he's going to have to be pushed somewhere because he's getting into his prime. He's an awesome wrestler. Not much on the microphone, but I'm sure he can work on that. He's definitely got to work on his character, but I'm interested in this match. I mean, it's definitely going to be a good wrestling match, if anything, right?
100%. This match can be a lot different than what Kenny Omega has been used to recently. When you think about it, he's been wrestling these hardcore matches with Moxley. A lot more of the triggers have been happening. Like he hits 15 triggers. This match is going to be more fast paced. technical moves, suplexes, bridging pins, stuff like that. Reversal pins, backslide, stuff like that. And I'm gonna go on a little prediction here. Here's what I think you do on this match. This match, you have to go time limit draw, just like back in the day. You have this match, go time limit draw. It makes Kenny Omega still look good. It makes Jungle Boy still look good. Nobody looks bad. Then you can have another match. Something weird can happen. Then you can have another match, and if you do that, Jungle Boy might beat Omega for the belt. And that makes Jungle Boy look good because he wrestled Kenny Omega 3 times and it took him 3 times to beat him. It doesn't make Kenny Omega look bad. It just makes him look like, damn, it took him 3 times and he finally got him. But all the other times it was like a time limit draw, maybe a random double DQ because of other guys fighting outside the ring. And then the third time, you have him beat him somehow. You know what I mean? Even if it's an old school cage match or something. That's what I think the way to benefit off this with AEW is.
Man,
Or
you're starting to sound like Reggie right now. Like you're going so far into the future down the road and you're putting a belt on Jungle Boy. No. What I think what's going to happen is they are going to protect both of them, but maybe Jungle Boy gets like some kind of upper hand, and then I think some kind of fuckery is going to happen. And it's going to be a DQ. It could go to a draw. I don't see that. But I see Jungle Boy getting jumped, and we might see the return of Luchasaurus. So that might lead to Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus going up against the Young Bucks. Because if the Young Bucks come down and they jump Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus comes back, then there's your tag team setup right there. But I don't think they're going to push Jungle Boy into a main event storyline with Kenny Omega. I can't see that happening. Jungle Boy can't hold it down on the mic. His character isn't fully developed yet, and he's just not ready right now. He'll be ready in the future for sure. But this is a good test for him. But I also think this is going to lead into the return of Luchasaurus. He's going to come, save the day. They'll face the Young Bucks for the tag titles, and we'll see what happens from there. I mean, that's just my opinion on that because honestly, I don't think they know what they're doing with Kenny Omega. He's so many different places doing so many different things. I mean, he still has to defend the AAA title. He just defended the Impact title. Now he's defending the AEW title on Friday. I mean, I don't think they know what the fuck they're doing with Kenny. So I know they're not putting the belt on Jungle Boy. Like no time soon. I mean, I don't think there's going to be a rematch after this.
yeah, I just feel like you have to build a star against Kenny Omega, and that's why you do this. The only other thing, there's 2 ways to go about this. You either build a star like Jungle Boy and have him wrestle Kenny Omega in a
You
bunch of
can
different
build a
matches,
star the
or
same
you're
way I
going the
just
other
said.
road where it's Cody Rhodes. Like that's who it is. That's all. Like that's what's going to happen.
You can build a star the same way. I mean, but by getting them jumped, because you're still protecting them, and they're still going to have a great match. So if he gets jumped at the end and there's a DQ or interference and Kenny gets to win somehow by cheating, which is bound to happen, you still protect Jungle Boy. You still make him look good. And if he does get jumped at the end of the match by the Young Bucks, I'm assuming it's be a good time to bring back Luchasaurus. I mean, I haven't heard anything about him. I don't know if he's healthy. Uh, I don't know if he's even has a timetable, but I know he hasn't been around in a while, and it'd be a good time to bring him back, especially in front of fans.
It'd be a great time to bring it back in front of fans, but I don't know. I see, like I said, I feel like this goes time limit draw. First match, time limit draw. They're not going to just have one match with each other. They're going to have more than one. First match, time limit draw, or some kind of nonsense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's
I don't think we're getting a rematch or a
all right,
storyline. I
all
think
right,
the
all right.
storyline, if any storyline comes out of this, I think it's going to be uh, Jurassic Express versus the Young Bucks.
Where's Young Bucks? Okay, all right.
I
We'll
mean,
see.
what else is going on AEW this week? I'm sure we have a
Uh
TNT match.
do we have a TNT match?
We should. It's a television title.
I I didn't really. I didn't. I'm sorry, but I didn't. The only thing I saw in the pay per view, in the preview, was this. I really stuck to this. I'm sorry.
Well, they got. You figure Miro was fighting somebody, right? I mean, didn't they had fuck I forget, they had Darby Allin defending that title every week, right? So why wouldn't
Yes.
right?
Well,
So
Miro just defended it at the pay-per-view against Lance Archer, right? Yeah, that was the last time he defended it, I think. I don't think he's defended it against anybody else.
so Miro's going to defend the title, I assume, because Darby Allin defended the title every week. But I don't know. Miro did defend his title last week, didn't
He defended
he?
it
He
at
did.
the pay-per-view, I think, was the last time.
No,
I don't know if he did. Did he?
Yeah, he defended it last week. So, but what we got coming up though is a bad card. So we got Dante Martin versus Matt Sydal, Chris Statlander versus the Bunny, Hangman Page versus Powerhouse Hobbs, and Kenny Omega versus Jungle Boy. So it's going to be, that match is going to get some time. If you figure there's only 3 matches before that, and it's a 2-hour show, they're either going to do a lot of fucking promos, a lot of commercials, or Kenny Omega and Jungle Boy are probably going to get an hour.
I think Sammy and MJF are having something too this week too. I think they're doing something too,
Okay.
like a little interview thing.
You got to
or
figure they'll throw
something
something else in there.
Yeah, they're definitely going to.
Some Dark Order shit might pop off. But as of right now, it's kind of a short card. I do expect Kenny Omega and Jungle Boy to get at least 30 minutes. At the very least. So what we got coming on SmackDown this week?
Coming on SmackDown is probably going to be the aftermath of Hell in a Cell. And Roman Reigns is probably just going to be a beast and be happy because he won again. And then we're probably going to see Shinsuke Nakamura have his crown. Maybe he'll have a little ceremony for getting the crown. And they're going to be something that is a little different now. Is something I've seen online. They're going to be doing some shows that are like, I think the reason they gave him the crown was they're going to do a King of the Ring. They're going to do a King of the Ring. They're going to do some, possibly a Cyber Sunday, stuff like that. They're going to start doing some more theme shows when they start getting fans back. And I think that's a great thing to do some of these old vintage shows and get people excited again. So this SmackDown is actually a really important SmackDown in a way because I think we have 2 SmackDowns until the next the next 2 SmackDowns are Thunderdome, and then boom, live fans and the return of John Cena.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really looking forward to the return of John Cena to go against Roman Reigns, but I am questioning, speaking of Roman Reigns and the family, are the Usos still vying for these titles? Like, is it still a thing with Rey Mysterio and Dominic and the Usos, even though Rey just lost to Roman in the Hell in a Cell for the world title? Are we going to go back to the Usos against the Mysterios for the tag team titles? Or do you think, Rey was beat down and he's taking time? He's going to take a week off. I mean, they got to go somewhere with it, right?
I think what they're either going to do is they're going to have them relinquish the titles to the Usos, or the Usos are going to be like, we challenge them this, like maybe this week will be the week we challenge them for the belts, and they'll be like, we're injured, like we don't give it, we don't care, you know what I mean? And they're going to win the belts, and that's Roman Reigns' kind of like gift to them, you know what I mean? Like he can say that later on when if they try to turn on him, he can be like, I did that for you, I got you your belts, remember that, So
yeah, we'll see. They
that's
have to
where I
do
think
something. They got to keep this thing going with the dichotomy with Roman Reigns and the family, and at the same time they got to get somebody in there against Roman Reigns, and the Usos got to have something to do, which is obviously to get gold around their way. So it would only make sense for them to continue that storyline. I assume we're going to get more from Seth Rollins and Cesaro, especially the way that match ended Hell in a Cell. They're 1-for-1 in pay-per-views. I assume they either go again at Money in the Bank or they're both in the Money in the Bank, because that's one thing I guess that's coming up also. We're going to find out who the qualifiers are.
I have a prediction already.
For the
Here's
Money in
what
the
I
Bank.
think. I think the rubber match will be a Money in the Bank qualifier, and Cesaro beats Seth Rollins.
That's a possibility.
To people, because you want him in that match, you got to have him in that.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I mean, I could see either one of those guys in the match, actually. So we'll see where that goes. I can also see Big E in that match. I actually can see Big E winning it, to be quite honest with you. But so you figure at least Big E and either Cesaro and or Seth Rollins will be in that match, right? So that's potentially two or three of the guys, three out of the four guys who are going to be in that match. So we'll see where they go with that. Um, Obviously, they're going to be qualifying matches on Friday because they had qualifying matches on Monday. So we'll definitely see what happens there. Um, I want to see what they're doing with these mid card titles. You know, Apollo's been in a lot of tag team matches. You know, and I understand they're trying to get the Colonel popping. You know what I mean? Trying to get his character over, trying to get people used to him. So when fans do come back, he'll get a reaction. But Apollo's going to have to defend that title, and it's going to have to be some kind of a storyline. Like something's going to have to go on, right?
I think sooner or later he's going to have to battle somebody, but I think you don't take the belt off him right now. You make him look strong.
No, I'm
You
not
want to
saying
keep it
I'm not
going.
saying you take the belt off of him, but he has to fight somebody. It has to be something because they're not doing shit with these mid card titles.
I think I know who he fights. The Colonel. That's
It's
what I
too
think is going
early.
to happen.
I think it's
Not
too
yet.
early for that.
Not yet. Not yet. And I'm saying, well, right now he's going to fight like somebody from the mid card will pop up and be like, "I'll challenge you."
Well,
You
my
know,
point is
maybe
they have
Sami
to
Zayn will turn heel now, turn face now. You know,
they have to do something with these mid card titles because they're losing a lot of momentum. I mean, they had good momentum after Apollo beat Big E, and they had great momentum with Sheamus doing his thing for weeks in a row. Now what? Like now, what's going on with these titles? Like they're always starting shit, but they never fucking end these things. So they got to continue. I think to build Apollo and give him somebody to wrestle, somebody good to wrestle. It seems like they're moving on from the Big E thing, and it seems like Big E is going to be in the Money in the Bank. So um, I'm hoping Big E wins that actually, because that'll be a good look for him. It'll make things fresh and new because you don't know when he's going to cash in on Roman, or he could just challenge him for a title shot, you know, at SummerSlam or somewhere down the road. So we'll see where that goes. And maybe they delay on bringing John Cena back. I don't know. I think John Cena comes back when the fans come back, though. I think you're right about that. But does he challenge Roman right away? I don't know. It depends on what happens at Money in the Bank.
I think it's July 16th is the first. That's the first live event, and it's SmackDown. And I think John Cena is already. I think he's advertised on that, and Sasha Banks advertised on that. So he's definitely going to come back, and he's gonna wrestle probably until SummerSlam. He's promoting his movie, you know.
Yeah,
So
Fast and the
he's gonna.
Furious.
No, Suicide Squad.
Oh, he's in that one too. Okay, so he has two
Yeah.
movies this summer.
Oh, he does. Oh, there you go.
Well,
Suicide
Fast and the
Squad and Fast
Furious,
Furious. You're right. Forgot about that.
Fast and the Furious 9 that comes out this week, and he's the
Yep.
antagonist. So
I think Suicide Squad comes out in like August, I think, or July, so a little bit later. So he's definitely gonna be promoting that, and that's what he's trying to do. And he's probably and they got to start having like people that Roman can beat that are like Hall of Famers. You know what I mean? Let's see this man crush some Hall of Famers. You know, and see what he really does against people that can still. John Cena can still go. You know.
yeah, I just don't feel like seeing. I mean, we've had 2 years, 3 years of these Hall of Famers coming in and out. I mean, everybody from Brock Lesnar hijacking the title to Goldberg winning the title multiple times, actually, to even the Undertaker taking up time and guys coming back. I understand it's good for nostalgia and they're very recognizable, but let's stop putting titles on them. Let's stop making them a major part of the show. And we probably will get John Cena and Roman Reigns, and I understand why they're going to do it, why they have to, or why they feel like they have to do it. I just hope it doesn't last long, and I hope they don't give John Cena the title. Like I hope John Cena doesn't break Ric Flair's record by getting the title for a month because he's a part timer and he's about to go back into making movies again. You know that's going to be stupid if they do that.
I agree. But let's talk about the other match that's being talked about online right now. Is a, a Hall of Famer fighting a new guy that's really good. They're talking about Edge. When Edge comes back, he's going to be a face, and it's going to be very soon. And he's going to fight Seth Rollins, and they're going to have a little feud.
Yeah, I can see that happen.
Uh,
Obviously, Seth got to get out of his feud with Cesaro, and maybe a way to get out of that would be a Money in the Bank qualifier where Cesaro wins and Seth Rollins moves on to go against Edge, to start a storyline with him. But I'd like to see that. Edge can still go, and Seth Rollins is, he's one of the one, two, three top three guys in the business. So I'm down with
I
that. I'm
think
definitely
I
down with
think
that.
both these guys fill the map. They can do promos, they can wrestle, they can do it all. And if you don't remember, they also have some backstory. Seth Rollins was on the cutting edge, and he wanted the Authority to be rebranded, and he got John Cena to get the Authority to come back by taking Edge and having Edge, like, I think he had him on the ground, was ready to stomp him and break his neck. Because that was like, I think Edge came back and he wasn't ready to wrestle. He was just doing like a one night type thing interview. So they do have some little backstory there. I like that.
And another thing, you said Sasha Banks is coming back. Obviously, she didn't get her rematch, and Bianca's on a hell of a roll. I think when fans come back, she's going to get huge pops. Uh, so you bring Sasha back to go back up against Bianca Belair for the title at SummerSlam, probably. And that right there, that's money. I think everybody wants to see that because they put on a hell of a match at WrestleMania. Um, Bianca and Bailey just had the match of the night at Hell in a Cell. Definitely got to see this happen again. Sasha didn't get a rematch. It's perfect. She took her time off. She's coming back. The fans will be there. This could potentially be the hottest rivalry on SmackDown. Definitely.
I agree. Bianca Belair is really just showing the kind of star she is right now. She's a star. And I'm happy that they didn't put this match on WrestleMania Backlash. I'm happy they didn't have that. I'm happy that they were holding off on this. This is going to be This could be the main event at SummerSlam, in my opinion. Like, this could be the last match of the night. It could be. And it would really not surprise me if it was, because it's going to be a really good match. And the first match of WrestleMania basically stole the show in a way. It was a great match. So I could see this being a main event at SummerSlam, and it's going to be good. And in Las Vegas, they're both going to have great entrances, and it's going to be really, really good. And this is really something that's special. A lot of people talk about things like, this angle that these two people have was special. This is something that's special. I'm happy that they are holding off on it until the fans are there to see how that crowd reacts.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said except for the fact it's going to be a main event. I mean, it's SummerSlam. Yes, they main evented the first night of WrestleMania, but the SummerSlam main event's going to be Roman Reigns, especially if he's going up against John Cena. There's no way Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks, as great as that is, that's not going to take precedence over a Roman Reigns John Cena match. Definitely not. But everything else you said was definitely on point. I definitely think, again, this could be the hottest rivalry on the SmackDown brand, especially say Sasha takes the title and Bianca gets her rematch at whatever the next pay per view is and wins it back. I mean, I can see a lot going on with them too. Now, somebody's got to turn heel, though, in my opinion. And they're both great heels, so I don't think it matters who you turn heel, but I'd like to see Sasha come back as a heel. She's at her best when she's a heel.
I agree with that, but I think I wouldn't do it in this match. I would wait like until the second match, and then maybe do like, I'm throwing it back there, but do some type of like Bret Hart Diesel type thing where, like, the match is so tight, and at the end of the match some screwy thing happens where it makes Sasha Banks angry, and then she ends up beating the crap out of Bianca after the match. Do something like that. Like, wait, you know what I mean? Sometimes they rush these turns when you can marinated and make it wait and then make it really good. And when the fans come, like that's one thing. Soon the fans are gonna be back. I know I keep saying that, but it's gonna be something that's really good to see in front of a live crowd, a heel turn that we will love to see.
I mean, I think Sasha might come back in front of the fans to a big pop and maybe play like she's going to be a face, and then immediately we'll see the heel turn that night. That's what I think. And she's going to go after Bianca Belair. She'll probably attack her or do something dirty or something like that. But I can guarantee you, they're both not going to be faces for long. Somebody's going to turn heel. That's just the way it goes. So what else is going on SmackDown? I guess, I mean, we covered everything, especially with the fall off from Hell in a Cell. We got some qualifying matches. We'll see where Sami Zayn is going. We'll see what the situation with the Street Profits and Chad and Otis, which is kind of dumb.
Yeah.
And then, we'll see where they're going with Rey and Dominic versus the Usos. And then whoever is going to get fed to Roman Reigns next.
Well, tonight was Thursday, so we did have a little bit of Impact action. They're actually announcing a match for next week, which is 6-man tag with Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers versus Sami Callihan, Moose, and Chris Sabin. So we can talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. Impact again. Their booking is on point. Their matches are on point. As far as their storylines go, they're hit or miss still with storylines, and I think it's still a lot of fun though what they're doing. But this is a good match, especially with Sammy as the next contender, and with Moose being the last contender. I think we're going to see something happen here. I think we're definitely going to see something happen here. You got Tommy Dreamer and Don Callis at ringside, and you basically got the elite, Kenny and the Good Brothers. Chris Sabin can go. I think we'll see something good.
I think that what really needs to happen with this match is something needs to happen with the world title picture, and that's why I think they're doing this match. I think they realize that Sami Callihan versus Kenny Omega, that's a good match, but like that's an Impact match. It's not a pay-per-view caliber match. So I'm hoping that what happens in this match by the end of the match is everyone attacks each other, and Moose is left standing, and Moose grabs the belt, and then they decide to put Kenny Omega versus Moose, Sami Callihan, and Chris Sabin, and do something like that, which could be a lot different, and it could be a really like all those guys, like even Chris Sabin, all those guys can go. Like I'm not saying that Chris Sabin needs to win the belt or nothing like that, but he could be in this main event match. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that that's the reason to have this match. This match, either way, it's going to be good. It's going to be a good match. All these guys can go. They all are great wrestlers. No matter what show they're on, they're all top of the tier. But I hope that this is a match that affects the main event at Slammiversary.
Yeah, I don't think it will. I think we're just watching the Kenny Omega show, and they're putting this match in there to get some guys some time to showcase Kenny, showcase Sammy. Again, Moose was the last guy to go against Kenny. I think what they're doing, at least with the Impact title, is having Kenny Omega just take on one contender after another, after another, after another, and Sammy Callahan is next. I wouldn't mind seeing a triple threat match. You throw Moose in there or something like that. I can't see him putting Chris Sabin in there. I think Chris Sabin is in there actually to get pinned this week, but next week I'll say. But I think we're watching just Kenny Omega just taking guys out one by one by one, and Sammy Callahan is next. And actually, I think Sammy is lucky to even get that spot on Slammiversary. So if they do something, I think it will be with Moose, or maybe a triple threat situation. We also had a breakup this week. Diana Perrazzo, Susan, and Kimberly split up, sort of. Susan split up last week from Diana Perrazzo, so they had a match this week. And Diana pretty much squashed her. Susan got in one move, and then Perrazzo submitted her. And then it was like I think it's what you said on the pre-show. It seems like we're looking toward probably the return of Su Young.
Well, I think that's a smart move to do right now because here's the thing: the champions run through the whole roster. There's no one for her to face, and I'm hoping for Impact. I know Impact. I'm pretty sure they're still working out of Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm pretty sure, but sooner or later they're going to have fans back. I'm pretty sure that the fans will be very excited about Su Young coming out entrance because she's amazing. Like that character
Well, the
is
way it
out of
ended,
this world.
I'm gonna stop you right there because the way it ended with Kimberly standing up for Su Young and got in Deonna Purrazzo's face, almost like they're setting up a match between them two. So that could be a Slammiversary match, Kimberly versus Deonna Purrazzo. Maybe at the end of that match, or maybe leading up to that match, Deonna takes out Susan, and we don't see Susan again until that match. She comes back as Su Young, but I'm definitely down with seeing Su Young again. And by the way, did you know she was married to Rick Swan? Su Young.
She was married or is married
She
to Rich
is
Swann.
married to Rich
Oh,
Swan.
I did not know that.
And when Rich Swan got arrested for hitting on his woman, he was hitting on Sue, which is crazy.
Oh, damn!
Allegedly,
Wow, I didn't know
alleged,
that.
allegedly.
Wow, allegedly. Wow, I didn't know that.
He
Well,
was
did,
definitely
did you?
arrested. He was definitely arrested for allegedly hitting Sue Young. The charges were dropped though, but I didn't even know they were married.
I did not know they were married either. But I did know. Did you know that Slammiversary will be having there will be fans at Slammiversary? That's what's been on the preview for like a while since it's been
I
going on. That there will be
I hope
fans at
so.
Slammiversary. No, there
I
will
hope,
be. It says on that's their preview. That's their thing on their preview. It's like Slammiversary, and then it's like, and the fans are back, and it shows like fans going to the arena.
I mean, I really hope so because I can't wait to see how fans react to Impact. You know what I mean?
I
Because
can't wait either. It's gonna be great.
they've been working really hard with no fans, and the product has gotten actually better since COVID. So we'll see what happens. It also looks like Fire and Flavor have a new rivalry brewing, and it looks like their opponents for Slammiversary are going to be Rosemary and Havoc. Rosemary beat Kara Hogan. Tasha Steeles came to interfere. Havoc came to save the day. It looks like they're setting up Havoc and Rosemary versus Fire and Flavor at Slammiversary, which I don't know where they're going with that. I hope they keep this Fire and Flavor thing going because, like I said, they are the best female tag team in the world, and they should start to be considered as one of the best tag teams in the world, period, man or woman. But this would be a hell of a fucking match at Slammiversary with Fire and Flavor versus Rosemary and Havoc.
I think this is going to be a match that steals a show that night and it really gets fans. The fans are going to get into this match live out of all of the matches. But I think this is just another team that you feed to Fire and Flavor. Maybe have like a little, not a turn. What's that? Like animosity or something, like a missed move like they've done before in matches with Havoc and Rosemary. But I don't think they just got the belts back. They're not losing the belts and they're not losing the belts in front of the live crowd because the live crowd, like, I think the live crowd, they're going to be like try to push these people as heels, and the live crowd's going to love Fire and Flavor because they've been awesome. They're great. Like, they come out, there's nobody in the arena, and they're like, yeah, 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 going nuts. That's showing that they really have love for the game. So I'm hoping that at the pay per view, they keep the straps on them, let them retain.
Yeah, I definitely think they should. I mean, they've been building them as a team. They did drop the titles once, they got them right back. But I think that was only to actually accomplish what we're going to talk about next, and that's Jordan Grace threatening a heel turn against Rachel Ellering, which actually brought out Jazz, and it looked like Jordan Grace turned her back on Jazz. Now, it wasn't a full-blown heel turn, and the queen of strong smile on Rachel Ellering with her positivity was starting to piss Jordan Grace off. And I think Jordan Grace blames her for losing the titles back to Fire and Flavor. So they're kind of using that to turn Jordan Grace heel, I think, and maybe at Slammiversary we will get Jordan Grace versus Rachel Ellering, with Jordan being the heel, and that's a good refresh for her character because Thick Mama Pump was starting to get a little stale.
I mean, she was only getting a little bit stale, but I think this is something they kind of need. You don't have a lot of you don't have the next big heel. So hopefully this is what can happen is could be once the champion loses a belt, they can move on to Jordan Grace getting the belt as a heel. You know what I mean? 'Cause usually that's what wrestling companies want. They want that long heel or a new heel to be the champion. And this is something I think she needs to do. It's time for her to be a heel. Time for her to step on her own. She's gonna have some cool promos about I didn't need Jazz. I can do this on my own. I've been doing this on my own and stuff like that. So I think it's something that it really helps people's character. And I think she's somebody that they've had her in Impact for a long time. So that's somebody that that's like their seedlings, and this is like seedlings of the beginnings of something very big for her.
Yeah, we'll see where they go with this. She is a former champion, a former Knockouts champion, a former tag team champion, but this will be the first time in front of fans that her character has really been fleshed out and that she's been like, a mainstay character there. And now they're going to turn her heel. So we'll see where it goes from there. I think there's a lot of things that they can do with her, especially depending on how this Deonna Purrazzo Kimberly situation plays out. She could be the next contender easily after she deals with her storyline with Rachel Ellering. So I can see that going a bunch of different places, especially when you're involved in Jazz. It's kind of like a come between to try to bring those two guys together. She'll probably turn on Jazz at some point and knock her out or something. So I like that. And I like Jordan Grace. I like her character. But I do think she needed a refresh. And I think this is a good way to do it. So it's like I said, Impact is doing a great job. And we'll see how fans react in the live audience. But I think fans are excited to see Impact, especially if they start touring again. I know I'll go see them.
I would love to see them come to Philly, and I would love to see the tag champions, which I'm really excited about. Like Violent by Design is one of the best stables, and they've had the belts, and they're doing really good, and they're using the kind of Freebird rule. That's what they got going on, and I think at the pay per view, that's gonna be one of the best matches because I think that they're gonna do like a new superstar or somebody returning or somebody because that's what this pay per view is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about the fans are back and time for surprises. So that could be something really big with that going on, with them being so hot. Like that you said that Fire and Flavor is one of the best tag teams in the world. Yes, they are, absolutely. But Violent by Design is one of those tag teams just crushing everyone. And it doesn't look like anybody's going to beat them for the belt. So they got to have opponent at the pay-per-view is going to be surprising that could beat them. That's what I think there.
Well, they did defend the titles in the main event of Impact. It was Kojima and Eddie Edwards versus Doring and Diener, and Doring and Diener won. So they're definitely going to continue that push, and that was the main event. So those guys are getting a mega push, and they are a good stable. So we'll see where that goes. All right, so that was a lot of week of wrestling. Kind of excited to see what happens at NXT. You got some new things going on, maybe some new things on the horizon. I definitely want to see what's going on with Samoa Joe, Karrion Kross, what they're doing with Adam Cole. Um, can't wait to see what happens at AEW. Obviously, Impact is looking good. SmackDown, we're getting some Money in the Bank qualifiers, and that'll be good. Can't wait to see that. Can't wait to see where they're going with the Cesaro, Seth Rollins thing with Big E. It's a lot of exciting things going on in wrestling, especially with fans coming back in a couple of weeks. I think shit'll be popping, man. But I think that does it for our show this week. Chimpy, what you got on the outro, man?
What I got, as always, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave us some comments. We ain't got no comments ever. Please just give us some nice comments. Don't forget to like this. Don't forget to share it. And, we can't wait to go out and see people at wrestling shows very soon. And I think the first show we'll be going to will be July 10th at the Viking Hall. We can't wait for that. It'd be wonderful. And I can't wait to, see everybody on our next episode.
Well, it's not called Viking Hall anymore. It's the 2300 Arena, but we will be there July 10th, going to see Major League Wrestling (MLW), and we will be interviewing fans. So if you see us out there, holla at us, or we'll be hollering at you. But that does it for our show. I am your host of Mod the Dark Show, and again, thank you for listening. And we are out. Woo!